future is now.
Hi, everyone. Cheryl Cran here, ready to share with you our next podcast episode. And this one, I want to focus on a HubSpot survey that really highlighted the qualities that workers are looking for from their managers and from their leaders. And some of these may surprise you, not surprise you, but really the importance of where we are right now is that we are in a workers' market. We are in the midst of a continued great resignation or great reevaluation. What we really need to be right now is, as leaders listening to this podcast, we need to be the leaders that people want to work for and stay for as long as possible. We're not going to keep people for 10 years anymore. We're certainly not going to keep them for 15 or 20. That was from a previous era. What we are going to do is try to keep them for as long as we can, help them grow, help them learn, help them add value for us, and then wish them well as they progress in their career, either with us in our company or elsewhere. So I think that, really in my book, Super Crucial Human, I talk about the future is human. What I mean by that from a leadership perspective is we have to be and have leaders who are able to see the value of human beings, but also have that friendly, performance-based approach to the team and to the culture. And it's a real art of balance. In my experience, the range of personalities that we all have, you could be a driver personality and be very good at driving results, but maybe lacking in a little bit of empathy or care or appreciation. Or you could be a deflector type leader who you care deeply about people, but you're lacking in that performance piece and that feedback piece. Or you could be a leader who's very analytical and you're very good at reporting and structure, but you're not great at sharing your vision. So, really understanding that we are at a time where we have to integrate all these different approaches to leadership in order to be that leader that people want to work for and stay for. So in HubSpot survey, the number one response was for trust. 58% of over 5,000 respondents said they're looking for a leader they can trust. So what does trust mean? Well, trust is actually a two-way street. It's mutual accountability. Trust is not something we just expect people to have of us. It's something that has to be built. We can actually increase the chances of people trusting us in the way that we communicate. So if we are using crucial communication skills, consciously communicating, understanding different personalities, using language that is future focused, creating a vision, helping people have the tools and resources to succeed, all those things establish trust and deepen trust. The next one was empathy. 46% of those respondents said that they want a leader or a manager who has greater empathy. Empathy is not sympathy. Sympathy is, oh, you poor thing, I feel so bad for you. I'm glad I'm not you. Empathy is, oh my gosh, you're going through this. I can feel what that must be like for you, even though it's not my experience. And so I'm empathizing with you, human to human. Empathy also means that we're not negating what's going on in someone's lives in addition to the work requirements of them. So for example, specifically now in hybrid workplace, every one of us is dealing with a myriad of realities, working from home sometimes, working in office, the commuting reality, family responsibility realities, dealing with kids, dealing with grandkids, dealing with animals, dealing with, having service people coming to our home to deal with things. There's a lot going on. And as leaders, we need to be empathetic to the realities of people's lives. And that's a huge request of workers today. The other survey answer was 45% of those respondents said they're looking for a leader or a manager who can give useful feedback. And I think the key word here is useful. So gone are the days where we're just criticizing or we're being sort of, admonishing someone for not doing something well or right. And instead, what we want to shift to is looking for opportunities to constantly give real-time feedback, useful feedback. In other words, let's say you have a worker and a majority of their time is spent on the phone and you listen to a recording of their customer interaction and you notice that they did really well in these points, but when the customer got upset, they could have used some specific techniques. So useful is, hey, you're having a conversation with that employee and you say, hey, I was listening to your recording of your customer interactions. Excellent tone of voice, excellent friendliness, excellent. And when they start to get angry, it might be useful if you rephrase the question or if you offer a solution more upfront. So it's useful. That's the key here with feedback. We don't have time to just have feedback for the sake of feedback. It needs to be real time. It needs to be useful. It needs to be applicable. It needs to help people get better faster. The other one that was in the survey was teaching new things. 43% of respondents says they're looking to learn from their manager or their leader. And whether that's through informal mentoring, whether that's through weekly one-on-one meetings where there's a specific focus on knowledge transfer, whether that's giving them insights into something that might not even be related to the job. It might be just a book you're reading and you're telling your team about this new book you're reading and the insights you've gained, or you're encouraging your team to knowledge transfer and share in your weekly meetings. The key is we all as human beings thrive and are happier when we're constantly learning, because it increases engagement, makes us feel more alive. It also makes us feel more connected human to human. So that's really important. And then finally, the last one was, I can't read my own writing here. I made a note here. 41% were looking for regular human to human insights into lives, like how are people living their lives. So they wanted to know their leaders more personally. So they wanted to know, like, what do you do with your time? Like, what shows are you watching, or do you have any hacks on what have you seen as the latest recipe hack on TikTok, that kind of thing. So they're looking for that real human to human, person to person collaboration, connection, sharing of stories, that type of thing. So if we look at that survey of what do leaders need to do to be the leader that they stay for longer, we want to be really looking at trust, empathy, feedback, teaching new things, and being that person that has a life and sharing their life with those people that they work with. I think in today's hybrid reality, it's more important than ever before to not be rigid or fixed in our viewpoints of how work should be done. I think we're at an opportunity to really, and I think most of us have already adapted to this, but I'm saying in the future, there's an even greater opportunity for us to look at how, if we increase trust, how does that improve our ability to have more hybrid solutions for our work teams. If our workers trust us even more as leaders, then we can actually engage them more in talking in delegation. We can engage them more in team projects. We can engage them more in dialoguing about what they want to create for their future career. Trust is the central component. Empathy, I talk about this in my book, Super Crucial Human, and you can get that book on Amazon or wherever books are sold. I talk about empathy as a huge, crucial human skill that I believe is now more important than ever before. There was a recent survey in Harvard a few weeks ago that said the CEO skills needed, the top 5 CEO skills needed, very much mirrored this list that I just shared with you. What it was all about human skills, not so much about the technology or the hard skills. Let's be truthful here and honest that the technology hard skills, we're all getting up to speed on those fairly quickly. Yes, we can continue to learn and increase our digital knowledge, but generally that part is pretty straightforward. It's logical. Dealing with people is illogical. It's emotional. It's not linear. It's more, I would say, intangible. So those skills of being able to communicate, being able to articulate, being able to set a vision, being able to increase trust factor, being able to give constant feedback, real-time, useful feedback, being able to share new things with your team on a regular basis, staying connected and being able to think of the perspectives of the team members and to really leverage the personality style knowledge so that you're interacting with people in a much more customized way. All of these are opportunities for us to be better as leaders, better executives, better managers. So that's my podcast this week. If you want more information, please go to nextmapping.com. If you want more details on the survey I'm referring to, you can go to HubSpot, and they've got a lot of survey sources there. And you can find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Connect with me there. Hope you enjoyed. Take care.